Thank you for joining us here at the First Alert Desk on Atlanta News First Plus. I want to take you straight out to some developing news that we've gotten from a story that we broke to you yesterday involving the death of a university student, a woman now identified. I want to relay that information to you. A 22-year-old Laken Hope Riley has been identified as the woman who was unfortunately found dead on the campus of the University of Georgia. She was reportedly going for a jog when her body was found yesterday afternoon in a forested area behind Lake Herrick. Again, 22-year-old Laken Hope Riley, a nursing student. The Athens Clarke County coroner confirmed to us just moments ago that she has been identified as the woman who was found in that wooded area. Really tragic news that has just been such a shock to the community, not just at UGA, but in Athens. And the most terrifying part in all of this is the person responsible is still on the loose. Police are hard at work investigating this tragedy. Atlanta News First Madeline Montgomery spoke to several students yesterday who say this has just absolutely shaken them up.
A quiet spot on a bustling campus.
Me, my roommate, pretty much everyone I know, we park over here. Me and my boyfriend go on runs over here all the time.
Really beautiful and peaceful, and now I feel like it kind of has tainted. It's scary a little bit.
Tainted after a body was found by Lake Herrick on East Campus.
The University of Georgia Police Department received a call from an individual concerned for a friend who had gone jogging at the intramural fields.
Police finding a female who wasn't a UGA student but was attending Augusta University's College of Nursing in Athens.
The individual was unconscious and not breathing and had visible injuries.
She was pronounced dead, and Police Chief Jeff Clark says foul play is suspected.
There has not been a homicide in the last 20 years here on campus.
Police are still looking for who's responsible.
And the fact that the person hasn't been caught yet is really scary. Hence why I recruited somebody to come walk me back to my car.
Students coming together for a vigil to mourn the tragedy.
Tragedy when you see someone so young lose their life, and this is one of those moments where it's felt heavy all day. It's felt dark all day.
Madeline Montgomery, Atlanta News First.
And just in a few moments, we'll be taking you out to Athens, where our team, Atlanta News First, we have been out there talking to officials, talking to students and community members as they share their heartbreak over this news. And just to walk you through that timeline of exactly what we know and where we are with this investigation, UGA police was called around noon after someone said their friend didn't return from a morning jog near the intramural fields. Now, police say they found the young woman's body, 22-year-old Laken Hope Riley, in a wooded area behind Lake Herrick with what they've called, quote, visible injuries. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Now, the coroner's office has since identified Riley to us. She was an Augusta University student in a College of Nursing program out in Athens. Foul play is suspected, according to police. They are actively looking for the person or persons responsible in this death. And just to make this even more heart-wrenching, this comes just a day after the University of Georgia announced that a freshman died in the Brumley Hall dorm. Now, UGA officials said during a news conference that the death is believed to be a suicide. So a lot of tragedy surrounding UGA, surrounding this campus. And as you heard from students that our reporter Madeline Montgomery just spoke to moments ago, this has just been absolutely devastating for the Athens community. I want to try to get you out to our Atlanta News First anchor, Rick Fulbaum, who has been out in Athens covering this for us during our morning newscast. Rick, can you hear me all right? All right, I think we're trying to just get a hold of our anchor, Rick Fulbaum. Rick, just checking if you can hear me. All right, I do believe we'll circle back with him, but just taking you out to more of some of the scene footage that we've gotten as police investigate this death. Again, the real scary part of all this and the concern that students have echoed is that the person responsible for the death of 22-year-old Laken Hope Riley has not been identified. No arrest has been made. Police working around the clock to figure out what exactly took place when they found this girl around noon in that wooded area on campus just behind Lake Herrick. Again, one of the students that you heard from just moments ago said that she felt so shaken up by all of this that she asked someone to escort her through this area. So you can imagine, as a young student, hearing about your fellow student losing their life like this, of course, changes your perspective. I want to see if we can go back out now to Atlanta News First anchor Rick Fulbaum, who is out in Athens following all of this. And Rick, I was hoping you and I would connect on here for some better news, but this has just been tragic. What can you tell us? All right, I do believe that we are still working to get a hold of Rick. Rick, can you hear me all right? All right. Again, we will continue to try to touch base with our Atlanta News First team out in Athens. In the meantime, as we continue to talk about this, really not a lot is known and a lot is yet to be answered, specifically what led up to this horrendous death, and more information about who Laken Hope Riley was. Again, Augusta University confirming that she was a student at the school's College of Nursing campus that is in Athens. So we, of course, our hearts go out to Augusta University. Our hearts go out to the College of Nursing for Augusta University, and of course UGA, who is now helping to investigate this after Laken Hope Riley's body unfortunately found in a wooded area behind Lake Herrick. Just a tragic situation. And again, we're going to try to get you back out to our team in Athens. Atlanta News First anchor Rick Fulbaum joining us now. Rick, I know we had some technical issues earlier. Can you hear me a little better now?
I hear you, Maria, yes.
I just want to talk to you more about this, being near this campus, being in Athens, talking with these community members, and delivering this unfortunate and tragic coverage for us. What is the emotion in the air right now?
There's a lot of sadness, there's a lot of fear, some anxiety. We've been talking to students who have walked by and who've been willing to talk to us. To be honest with you, the campus is a little quiet this morning. Certainly not the busy, bustling campus that most people familiar with UGA are accustomed to. I mean, we are right by the Student Center here that's over my shoulder. Sanford Stadium, the site of so many celebrations, athletic celebrations over the years, is right here to our right. And there really are not a lot of people here. Classes have been canceled because it's a Friday and because this tragedy unfolded early enough in the day yesterday. It's easy to imagine that a lot of people left campus yesterday, last night, and are gone. People that we spoke to, some of them who were still here, said that they were planning on going home for the weekend. Now, this is not to say that people are being critical of the university. We've heard from a number of students who have told us that they're very pleased with the response from the university, that they have professors who have long encouraged them to download the safety apps that are available to students here on campus that allows them to communicate with campus police, that teachers and professors have told them about the resources that are available to students when it comes to their safety. That has been a constant message, not just in times of tragedy like now, but in general. And so we've heard from students that are just upset about what's happened and alarmed by what's happened. We spoke with a young woman who told us that this area this wooded area near the lake in the southern part of campus where this victim's body was discovered is a part of the campus that she has gone to many times. She said it's a very peaceful and tranquil place. She said now, in light of what's happened, she will not be going there anymore.
And Rick, my understanding is that classes have been canceled through Monday, considering everything that has transpired. Just talk to me a little bit about what police have said, or if you've had a chance to speak with authorities. I mean, I'm sure that this for them is part of the job, but just as hard.
Police have not spoken to the media since a news conference that they held last night. That was when they were discussing the very early stages of their investigation and promising that they would leave no stone unturned. The chief of police here for the university police force told us that he has enlisted the help of the GBI, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, and also the police from the local county here, Athens-Clarke County, which is the county that Athens sits in. So this is a multi-agency operation, a multi-agency effort to try to track down the person responsible for this. They really are not really being very communicative with the media, which I've got to tell you from my experience as a journalist is not unusual. When there is an active investigation and a potential killer who is on the loose, authorities are more likely to spend time trying to track that person down as opposed to spend time briefing members of the media. But the police did come out last night. They told us what they were able to tell us, what they were comfortable telling us without jeopardizing their investigation. And we can only assume that that investigation is moving forward. We know that the police were out working throughout the night and into the early hours of this morning to try to track down a killer.
Rick, we hear about tragedies like this, and immediately people think about the family members in all of this. I wanted to speak to you, as a father yourself, hearing this news yesterday. Did anything went through your mind?
Sure. I have a daughter who is a freshman at college right now, not here at the University of Georgia, but we just sent her off to school. And so, it's tough. It's tough for parents, not just parents of students who are here at UGA, but students who have kids away at school in general. It's tough enough sending your kid off to college. You want them to have a great experience. You want them to enjoy themselves and study and work hard, and start to put their lives together and list their priorities and set goals and start going after those goals. This is certainly, not something that you want to see happen. Not to your child, not to anybody's child.
I appreciate your vulnerability in being out there reporting back to us on all of the developments that we learn, just taking people through all of this. We will continue to monitor information from police, talking to some of these community members. I know you'll be joining us on Atlanta News First News at noon with our continuing coverage, so I really appreciate you coming on here and just talking to us for a bit. Thank you, Rick.
Thanks,
All
Maria.
right. And taking you back out through some of this footage that we got yesterday during really the height of this investigation, just to talk a little more about this, again, 22-year-old nursing student, Laken Hope Riley, the Athens-Clarke County coroner, confirming to us that this this was the woman that was found in that wooded area behind Lake Herrick with, quote, visible injuries. Not a lot of information has come out of what exactly took place and the cause of death. That is still going to have to be determined, but police have said foul play is suspected. They said the safety and welfare of the campus community is their top concern right now. So again, full force investigation right now into identifying and learning who was responsible for this young woman's death. In the meantime, just if you can, keep your heart and good thoughts and healing thoughts to the family, to the Athens community, and to both UGA and the university, the Augusta University, that 22-year-old Laken Hope Riley was a part of. She will be missed so dearly. I want to take you through some of your other top stories as we continue to follow the latest to come out of this. We will, of course, stay on top of it, and any developments we will bring to you will be sent in a push alert directly to your phone. Again, still a lot to be learned from this investigation, and the top concern from these students that we spoke to is police announcing the person responsible in all this, that killer, still on the loose right now. So, of course, tension and concern and fear at the top of mind for so many in Athens. Just want to take you through some of your other top stories right now. We are also following an investigation at a South Fulton gas station that resulted in one person being shot. Here's some footage that our Atlanta News First crew took from this overnight situation. It all started as some sort of fight, apparently. The store clerk still a bit shaken up when our crews arrived to talk to them. Police say at least one person was shot and injured, and blood could be seen on the floor. Also, food and merchandise seen just scattered across the store. We have calls out to South Fulton Police for more information, but that investigation still very much ongoing. Also happening, new developments with the Atlanta Medical Center. You might remember it after news that it was closing down, will now be repurposed as a homeless shelter. Now, parts of Atlanta Medical Center will be used to offer housing and medical care to Atlanta's unhoused. The shelter will be an AMC's former athletic club. Now, this will not serve as a full-time shelter, and residents will have a finite amount of time that they will be allowed to stay. Wellstar closed the medical center back in 2022, which left a huge part of the city without access to a hospital. Now, a spokesperson that we talked to from the city of Atlanta said in part, quote, "This will be a compassionate operation with a variety of services offered to our unsheltered population, including housing options, medical care, and other services tailored to the unique needs of those we are serving." We will, of course, continue to follow this. When that homeless shelter does open up, we will hopefully take you through what it looks like inside and the benefits that it could bring to addressing Atlanta's homeless issues and the ongoing concerns surrounding affordable housing and taking up action like this from the city to address that. Also, a big story that has just continued to dominate headlines involving Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. Now, no closing arguments will happen today in that disqualification hearing that happened last week for the Fulton County District Attorney and Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade. Now, we took you live inside Judge Scott McAfee's courtroom last Thursday and Friday as the district attorney herself, Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade, and members of their inner circle were called to testify in a hearing to determine whether DA Willis should be disqualified from further investigating former President Donald Trump and 18 of his co-defendants. Now, this all stems from an allegation filed in a motion by one of the co-defendants of the former president, former White House aide Michael Roman. He claimed that Willis misused taxpayer funds and crossed ethical boundaries during her relationship with Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade while they were investigating the former president. Now, Willis has denied any wrongdoing and has said that attorneys who filed this motion have lied and that it is not true. She has admitted to the personal and romantic relationship with the Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade, but she said further than that, there was no wrongdoing something that would be grounds for disqualification. Now, this morning, we learned that the Fulton County Board of Ethics has set a March 7th hearing to take up ethics complaints filed against District Attorney Fani Willis back in January. The ethics complaints are separate from the disqualification hearing, but definitely not good for the Fulton County District Attorney as she remains focused on pursuing the former president and 18 of his allies. Now this ethics complaint, two for that matter, filed against her. We will continue to follow this closely. You can go to our website, atlantanewsfirst.com. We have an entire section dedicated to all of the new information that has stemmed out of this and everything that will continue to follow. You can count on us to bring you the latest. All right, and just to get in the Friday spirit, the best part about Friday is undoubtedly the Atlanta Hawks back at it after a week off for the All-Star break. Now, they tell us they're refreshed and ready to make a playoff push. You can, of course, catch tonight's game against the Raptors right here on Peachtree TV and the Peachtree Sports Network. Coverage will start at 7 p.m. with sports director Bailey Burmaster, and that tip-off, an exciting moment when we get to see the Hawks do their thing, that takes place at 7:30. So make sure you tune in tonight exclusively on Peachtree TV. All right, a lot of you are starting to make your weekend plans. So here's a look at First Alert Radar, and what we like to do here on Catch Up Quick is make sure that you are prepared for all of the weather that's going to come your way, but especially this weekend as all eyes are on that warmer weather and getting outside a bit. I want to bring in meteorologist Courtney Jacobazi here in a moment to join us, but for now, taking a look at Centennial Olympic Park, a cloudy day, but a pleasant Friday and a lot to look forward to as we get into this weekend.
All right, everyone. Happy Friday. You are looking out over Centennial Olympic Park in downtown. You could see still mostly cloudy skies, but that will change through the day. We're actually going to see a lot of sunshine. It'll be a nice afternoon. And once we get rid of some of the cloud cover, that'll linger for just the next couple of hours. I'm First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazi. Thank you so much for spending some time with us, especially on a really tough morning for news. Obviously, we will continue to bring you every ounce of coverage and information that we receive out of Athens through the day today. But hopefully the weather in some way can lift up your spirit a little bit because it is going to be beautiful. Over my shoulder to my right, you see, or to my left, I guess, facing you. Cold front moving out of North Georgia, pushing into Central Georgia. That front is what brought us the rain overnight. You might have heard a few rumbles of thunder as well. Caused a little bit of a mess this morning for the very early morning commuters, as we were telling you about. So we did have a First Alert weather day early this morning, just for all of you really early commuters. And the weather really did cause some issues on the roads early, but then that just set a domino effect off for the roads this morning. So if you were commuting this morning and you got stuck in any of the messes out there this morning, I feel feel for you. Thankfully, if for some reason you're about to head out again, maybe run some errands or something, the roads aren't looking quite as bad any longer. Let's talk about that cold front that moved through. You can see where that cold air is starting to spill in. Places like St. Louis, Nashville, Charlotte in the 40s and 50s. That cooler air is going to spill into our area tomorrow. The timing of that cold front, again, it moved through very early this morning, sunk south of the city around 7. It's going to take a while for that cooler air to spill in. It doesn't just instantaneously happen, so you'll really notice it tomorrow morning. But what you will notice in the meantime is the breeze build. So cold fronts are an area of lower pressure, and pressure creates wind. Pressure differences create wind. So as that front moves through, you notice a breeze ahead of it, and then you'll notice one behind it as well. So that breeze will really pick up, especially as the sun continues to come out more and the air starts to mix. Right now sitting in the 50s in Atlanta. This, of course, just before 10:30. This afternoon, temperatures are actually going to rebound really nicely with the sunshine, and that cooler air still very shallow behind that front. Of course, that cold air will really sink in a big way overnight, but not going to have a deep layer of cold air usher in today. Temperatures are going to climb into the mid-60s this afternoon, so it's really going to be a great day. A nice breeze, lots of sunshine, and mid-60s. Yeah, that sounds great to me. Some spots in the low 60s, including the mountains like Ellijay and Blairsville. You'll top out 61 degrees this afternoon. Now, if you have any dinner plans tonight, going to be a really nice evening. Skies continue to clear, 60s by 6 o'clock. And then if you have any dinner plans past 7, expect temperatures to be in the 50s. And again, it is going to be breezy, so you'll probably want to add a couple of layers to your outfit if you're headed out and about tonight for dinner. And even if you're heading out for any late night plans tonight, of course it is Friday, just keep in mind you're definitely going to want to bundle up a little bit because it will be quite chilly and breezy. Now let's talk about the wind. So this afternoon, gusts anywhere between 25 to 30, so fairly elevated, sustained wind 10 to 15. And then as we go through the overnight hours, the breeze will die down a little bit just because you won't get that heating of the sun to kind of mix up all the particles in the air. So we'll wake up with gusts about 10 to 15 tomorrow, but then they'll pick up again tomorrow afternoon. This particular model thinking we could experience gusts even greater than today, upwards of maybe 35 miles per hour with gusts isolated closer to 40. That would be wind advisory criteria. We don't have that right now. We're thinking the general consensus tomorrow will be again 25 to 30 mile per hour gusts for the afternoon, maybe some isolated gusts as high as 35. So just expect a breezy day, and it will be cooler tomorrow. So overnight lows tonight dropping into the 40s. You're definitely going to need the jacket if you're stepping out early tomorrow morning. This is a big weekend for the Atlanta marathons and everything. So if you're if you're getting up and at it early this weekend to run, just keep in mind you're going to want to probably have the hat on, a sweater or something a little thicker to run in because it is going to be quite a cold start, especially until you warm up. I know sometimes when you start running, your body gets a little warm, even if it's cold outside. So just know you'll need a couple of layers if you're up and at it early tomorrow. Tomorrow's highs, cooler as well. So again, that cold front moved through. It's really going to take over tomorrow with the breeze and the colder air. So tomorrow highs will ring in close to 10 degrees cooler than today in the mid to upper 50s. So you'll need a light layer throughout most of the day tomorrow, especially that wind. That wind will add a little extra bite. As we head into Sunday, we'll continue a lot of sunshine with temperatures in the low 60s. In fact, temperature at 63. We just changed that forecast, so that weekend graphic not quite updated yet. But low 60s for Sunday. It's going to be cool but comfortable. So if you're doing anything on Sunday, we have a huge NASCAR race here on Sunday at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. It'll be a great day for that. And then we go into the 70s as we head into the start of next week. We're still on track for that, which is fantastic. You will notice an increase in cloud cover as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday. That's ahead of a cold front that'll start to bring some rain as we head into the middle and late part of next week. And then notice temperatures will go back in the low 60s on Thursday. So when it comes to the coverage of rain and when exactly that rain is going to impact us most, that still needs some work, but we'll keep you posted on the forecast as we make our way through next week and get closer to the day to give you a more particular time or specific time for that rain. Here's a look at your First Alert 7-day forecast. Upper 60s today. It's going to be nice once the skies start to clear. We'll have a lot of sunshine, a pretty mild day, breezy. We'll wake up tomorrow in the 40s. So again, if you're up and at it early tomorrow morning, that overnight low is just around sunrise. So temperatures will be in the low 40s tomorrow morning. Some spots in the the upper 30s, upper 50s tomorrow afternoon. We'll continue a lot of sunshine. It will be breezy tomorrow, so you can kind of knock a few degrees off that upper 50 because when those gusts come through, it's going to feel a little cooler on your skin. We'll wake up in the 30s on Sunday morning, so quite cold to start, but temperatures will rebound really nicely, over 30-degree jump through the day. Temperatures topping out in the low 60s through the day. Back in the 70s next week, so we have a string of 70-degree days on the way, which will be very welcome, if you ask me. I'm ready for the spring-like weather. And then clouds will start to build by Tuesday ahead of a fairly more active weather pattern we seem to head into by the second half of the week, with a 30% coverage of showers Wednesday and Thursday. Either one of those days could go up. Models are just a little bit all over the place right now. We just know that there will be some sort of rain chance on Wednesday and Thursday right now. We will keep you posted on if any of those days end up being a first alert weather day, a day that you really need to pay attention to, if we think it'll impact your commute at all. But right now, just expect at least a chance for showers as we head into Wednesday and Thursday of next week, with temperatures in the 70s through Wednesday. We'll go back in the 60s as we head into Thursday. All right, everyone. Again, we thank you so much for spending some time with us this morning for your news and your weather. We will be keeping you updated here on Atlanta News First Plus and our Atlanta News First app. You can have our news app. It will give you updates throughout the day on anything that we do learn out of Athens today, among all other stories across Metro Atlanta. So be sure to tune in throughout the day, and we will catch you here next time.